Alright, welcome back everyone. Now, today you may see something a bit unusual. This is what we call an MMORPG, a massively multiplayer online RPG. What's interesting about this one is it was made all the way in 2003, and it's still active today. You can do the math yourself, but that's 20 years. And it's entirely free. It always has been. You can donate, but that's a choice. This game was made by the same people who made the Of Loathing series. The first one you might be familiar with is West of Loathing. The next one would be Shadows Over Loathing. But this one came first. The one that inspired it all. The Kingdom of Loathing. So today I thought we would make a new character. Then we could see how this game operates, and how it's operated for pretty much 20 years. As you can see, there are 6 classes to choose from. Seal Clubber, hail from the frigid Northlands. The Lion Muscle, okay, that's one muscle class. Turtle Tamer, mystical connection with Terrapin Brethren, great power. Another muscle class, so ignore mystical connections entirely, got it. Muscle is the key. Pastamancer, Noodlecraft, Mysticality. So Mysticality would be like magic, I guess. We've got Sorcerers, another Mysticality class. Then we got Disco Bandits. I like his mask. It didn't used to have this image. The image used to be... He had a smaller head. Yeah. Moxie. Moxie is a fun word. Like, I know there used to be an Italian soda, a soft drink, called Moxie. Moxie Cola. Nowadays, Moxie is probably better associated with, what's that one online cartoon? YouTube. Hell of a Boss? Yeah, Vivsy Pop. Sneakily stabbing them. This seems like a whittling class. If you're not familiar, whittling is doing... plinking. It's, damage over time. Small amounts. Accruing. Then we have Accordion Thieves. Another Moxie class. So we got 2 of each classes. Muscle, Muscle. Mysticality, Mysticality. Moxie, Moxie. Steel Accordions. So that's a buff class. So Accordion Thief is a buff class. Sorcerer and Pastamancer. I'm guessing Sorcerer is a defensive buff class. Turtle Tamer seems to be another defensive buff class. Pastamancer seems kind of like a summoner build. I imagine Seal Clubber would probably be the easiest to start with. But thematically, I think Sorcerer is what we should go for. After all, I am Edward Hyde. Cooking up concoctions what I do best. So, to start, let's add our name in here. Ed Hyde. Name available. So let's play. Now, as you can see, there's this map here. This little side thing is the chat bar. It also shows the trivial updates and announcements. It also has the date on it. February 7th. Good month. I guess we're a February baby. New challenge path has appeared. Well, that doesn't mean anything to us. Item of the month. No, come on. I don't need that. I know where I'm going. Fine. We'll do the quests. Welcome to the Kingdom of Loathing. To begin with, you should visit the tutorial on Mount Noob in the Big Mountains. You should set a password for your account. I'll do that later, at the end. So, we're gonna click on anything but there. We got an inventory. It looks like we've got equipment and consumables, miscellaneous items. No last adventure. Adventures? Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. But let's do the tutorial first. So we got this big map. Here's Mount Noob. Oh look, he's singing. The bird speaks to you as you approach. Welcome, adventurer. I'm the tutorial, and I'd like to show you the ropes. Here they are. No, I'm not gonna do that voice. Look, I'm sick, okay? Give me a break. He points to a pile of ropes piled atop a nearby rock. It's a... Okay. Now that that's out of the way, let's get down to brass tacks. I've got lots of things to teach you. Where should we begin? Teach me about my inventory. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this into the big scary world out there. And nothing keeps an adventurer company, as well as some sweet gear. Let's see what I've got lying around that might fit you. The Oriole digs around in a pile of junk behind his rock, and produces a couple of items. A saucepan. One-handed weapon. Head and neck, unless there's something that doesn't have a head or a neck, in which case it would be used to beat it about whatever passes for a head and neck in its particular case. Okay. And some old sweatpants. This is a pair of faded gray sweatpants with an elastic drawstring. Most people don't actually break a sweat while wearing them, but sitting on a couch eating potato chips pants doesn't have quite as much of a ring to it. It's true. So we can put those on. Whenever you see an item, you can click on the picture to get a description of it. I just did. Why not? I just did. Go to your inventory by clicking the backpack icon in the menu at the top of the screen, and equip the two items I just gave you. You know what, tutorial? You're very needy. Let's go back. Current quest. Tutorial. Good job equipping that stuff. While you were out, I found this, and thought you might like to have it. Click on it to see its description, and notice the fancy blue text. That means the item is enchanted, and equipping it will improve your stats or abilities in some way. Hollandaise helmet. This sturdy helmet, made of hardened hollandaise sauce, will help stop your brains from getting scrambled. Or poached, I guess. Okay. You're clever. Well, let's go equip that. Now we got a 10 power hat, a 10 power pants, and a 1 to 2 damage one-handed saucepan. Yeah, I remember. So what's next, tutorial? Teach me about adventuring. Over on the left side, underneath the little hourglass icon, you can see the number of adventures you have left. Adventures are used for adventuring. Every night, you will get an additional 40 adventures. Okay, so that's the thing. This game has real-time elements. You only get so many adventures per day. And I mean per day. So it isn't midnight. But at midnight, the server goes down, the game goes down, and adventures are redistributed. Isn't that nifty? I had never played anything like that before, back when this came out in 2003. It's really neat. I like that. There's a cave at the base of the mountain. Here, let me mark it on your map. You'll notice the 1 next to the name of the cave, right here. This means that going in there will cost you 1 adventure. That cave is where I keep my crates full of old junk. Head down there and smash some of them for me, if you please. Would you kindly? You're fighting a crate, so this is a combat. You're a little nervous about encountering a crate this early in the game. You get the jump on it. Okay, so there's an initiative system. If you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you're familiar with that. So attack with the saucepan. You tip your saucepan over and pour out the pain. Even though it's a saucepan, not a little teapot, it tips and pours just fine. Suffers 4 damage. Zot. Boof. New attack damage record. You win the fight. The crate was empty. Fueled by disappointment and boredom, you pick up some of the splinters of wood and whittle them into popsicle sticks. Popsicle sticks. Run-of-the-mill popsicle stick. Cooking ingredient. Okay. Well, let's do it again. We got the jump again. On a crate. Oh, this one has fruit. The crate was full of fruit. You pocket some of it, trying not to think about how long it's been sitting down here. Lemon. This is a lemon. It's shaped exactly like a lemon. Well, when life gives you lemon. Cooking ingredient and cocktail crafting ingredient. Food, crappy, size 1. So I guess we can eat in this game. An orange. Cooking ingredient, cocktail crafting. So, not much difference between an orange and a lemon. Let's do it again. This crate was full of vodka. And the reason you know that is because your shoes are now full of vodka as well. You managed to salvage 1 intact bottle from the moist and fragrant wreckage. I'm also getting enchantedness, which I'm guessing is a mysticality stat. That's probably what that bar is. Let's go back to the tutorial. Well done, adventurer. I'm sure you noticed that when you smashed those crates, you acquired some items and gained some stat points. Adventuring is the best way to get new stuff and make numbers get bigger. And you probably wouldn't be playing this kind of game if you didn't like watching numbers get bigger. Not wrong there. What would you like to learn about next, adventurer? Skills, please. Skills are important, and there are 2 different kinds of them. Some can be used during fights, and others can be used not during fights. Helpful? Let's investigate the second kind first. Click on the Book 3 icon up there and use your Sauce Contemplation skill. Your skills, Sauce Contemplation. By reflecting on the nature of the cosmic sauce, you can become more closely attuned to its mysteriousness. Your enchantedness and maximum HP will increase for a period of time. Gives effect, Sauce Mastery, 5 adventures. For 1 HP, or 1 MP? I guess I have 4 out of 6 MP left. Salsa Ball is a combat skill. This spell allows you to conjure up a ball of spicy salsa and sling it at your enemy, doing a small amount of damage. Well, what's Sauce Mastery do exactly? You are channeling the magicalness and strengthliness of the ancient brotherhood of gravy makers. Maximum HP plus 3, Mysticality plus 1. So Mysticality went up by 1. Let's buff myself a little bit more. Go back to tutorial. Well done! As I'm sure you noticed, that spell gave you an effect that makes you more powerful. I guess. You can see how long that effect will last in the character pane over on the left. Click to cast. Oh, that's neat. Very good. That's very handy. Now it's your time to learn about combat skills. I've marked the Dire Warren on your map. It's a dangerous place, so you'll need every ounce of guile. which is worth a pound of Chun-Li. Okay. It's been a very long time since I've played this game, especially since I've seen the tutorial. So, that's a new one to me. Street Fighter. This game is filled with references like that. So, keep your eyes peeled. You might spot some I don't. Head down there and use Salsa Ball on 3 enemies. Well, I don't have MP. Can I get more MP from... No, I'm not getting any from battling. A Fluffy Bunny. This is one of the cute fluffy bunnies that populate the Dire Warren. You're not entirely sure why it's called the Dire Warren, as you can't imagine any particularly dire circumstances or Dire Straits, that's a band, coming about because of these little things. Nonetheless, it's probably safer to destroy it. Salsa Ball. Oh, it's 0 mana. Nice. Summon a ball of hot salsa and hurl it at your opponent, dealing 3 damage. New spell damage record. You win the fight. You gain 8 meat. Okay, so meat is kind of like your currency. Not gold in this game. Meat. Gain a mysticality point. And my MP went up. So my MP is tied to mysticality. Good to know. Salsa Ball. Roguishness, that would be the Moxie stat, I guess. And there we go. Back to the tutorial. Nest Egg. Nicely done, adventurer. You probably noticed that in addition to gaining stat points by fighting those fearsome bunnies, you are also gaining meat. Meat is the currency of loathing. You'll want as much of it as you can get, because you'll use it to buy new skills and new equipment and things. In fact, here, take a little of mine to help you get started. Nest Egg. Clever. This is an egg that the tutorial gave you. He said something about it being full of meat. What would you like to learn about next, adventurer? Campsite. Just west of the big mountains, there's a campsite for adventurers. You get assigned a spot as soon as you arrive in the kingdom, and that's where you'll be staying. It's pretty Spartan at the moment. Here, take this tent. You require an item, Newbie Sport Tent. This is a basic tent. It's durable, weatherproof, and if you put it up at your campsite, you'll recover additional HP and... Okay, so this is how we get our HP and MP back. Go to your inventory by clicking on the backpack icon in the top menu, and use the tent to install it in your campsite. I'll meet you over there when you're done. Okay, miscellaneous. So that nest egg, yeah, you gain 150 meat. You crack open the egg. Turns out it was full of meat. Use the tent. If you ever find yourself low on HP or MP, you can recover by resting in your campsite. Head over there now. Okay. Campground. Ah, very good. Kitchen. Your campsite includes a handsome and functional outdoor kitchen, which is to say that there's a patch of battered linoleum on the ground. Quest log. It's an actual log. You've unlocked a tattoo. Well, that's interesting. And we have a closet. Though your closet is large, it contains no food or beverages. Okay. I guess we'll take a rest. Your dwelling doesn't have anything inside of it. You lie down on the floor and rest. You gain 10 hit points and 10 mana points. Okay. Return. See the tutorial again. Congratulations on your successful nap. Let me tell you, buddy, it was real tough. You probably noticed that your dwelling is a little bare, though. Take this to liven it up a little. Certificate of Participation. Well, after a nap, that seems appropriate. This certificate proclaims that you are a legitimate participant in the adventuring community of the Kingdom of Loathing. Hang it proudly in your campsite. Type usable. Cannot be traded or discarded. So there will be trading in this game, and it's a quest item. Interesting. You proudly hang your certificate of participation at your campsite. Okay. So I'm guessing that's here. Your Kingdom of Loathing certificate of participation hangs proudly, declaring to all who view it that you are, indeed, a participant in the Kingdom of Loathing. Go you. Back to Mount Noob. What's next, Toot? Teach me about cooking. You're a growing adventurer, and it's important that you eat to keep up your strength. In fact, eating is one of the best ways for you to get more adventures. If you're going to eat, you're going to need to learn how to cook. Take this oven and use it for your inventory to install it at your campsite. You install the oven in your stylish outdoor kitchen. The Toot Oriole flies down and lands on a rock next to you. You'll find a lot of food as you adventure, but nothing beats the taste of a home-cooked meal. Here, take these ingredients. We got most of those. Strawberry. Plump, juicy strawberry. Jumpin' Plucy, that's plump and juicy. That's a tongue twister. Click the plier icon up in the top menu to go to your crafting screen, and see if you can't figure out something to make with these ingredients. Well, I'm guessing popsicle stick and fruit. So let's go. What do we have a lot of? We have 2 of lemons, 2 of orange. Orange seems more reasonable. You cook up a delicious new item. You acquire an item, orange popsicle. This is a delicious looking orange popsicle. Compared to an apple popsicle, it's a horse of a different color. Yeah, it is. Say that looks delicious. You should go to your inventory and eat it. Congratulations, you just discovered a new recipe. Uh-huh. Well, let's see what it's all about. You eat the popsicle, and orange, you're glad you did. At this point, I'm regretting not using the lemon. Alright, Toot, what's next? Cocktails. Adventurers do not live by bread alone. Popsicles, Toot. I was eating popsicles. Booze is also a crucial part of your daily diet. It's like my dear old mum used to say, it's a rough world out there, Toot. Now be a dear and fetch me another drink. You'll need this. My first shaker. It's a colorful, cheap plastic cocktail shaker, useful for making not-so-potent potables. That's gotta be a reference to Saturday Night Live. Celebrity Jeopardy? It's gotta be. Okay. We got vodka, so that's a good start. You install the cocktail crafting kit in your stylish outdoor kitchen, making it even more stylish. The Toot Oriole flies down and lands on a nearby rock. Cocktails are a fine way to make yourself less sober. Here, take these ingredients. Grapefruit. Healthy part of a balanced breakfast, provided your bowl of cereal is about as heavy as a grapefruit. Olive. It's a big, plump, juicy green olive. Few things are as similar to a big, plump, juicy green olive as this is. Yeah, we got some alcohol. Airline-sized bottle of whiskey. It's only wrong when the woman is right. Whiskey. Questionable content. Tiny airline-sized bottle of vodka. The Orcish frat boys must have gotten this from some other dimension. Orcish frat boys. Bottle of gin. Same thing. That's not very original. Let's see. Make a cocktail. You gotta go gin and olive, right? And just as you'd expect, you get a martini. This is your basic martini. Gin and an olive. Yes, it is. Say that looks say that looks like a mighty refreshing cocktail. You should go to your inventory and drink it. Okay. 5 adventures. Oh, I got some moxie points. You drink the martini. It's as sophisticated as it is delicious. What's next, noob? Just like in the real world, booze is a great way to get extra adventures. Okay. Yeah, okay. Careful. Careful. Just be careful not to overdo it, or you might knock yourself out of commission for the rest of the day. You've learned everything I have to teach you. Now it's time for you to set out on your own and find your fortune in the kingdom. Might I suggest starting with the Council of Loathing over in Seaside Town? Here, I'll mark the town on your map. Well, you could suggest that. But let's see what else we have. So, we got stuff in our kitchen now. We got the Easy Cook oven, my first shaker. Is there anything else? Big mountains? Oh, things opened up a lot here. I'll tell you what. We'll visit the council first. Oh, we got a lot of stuff to do here, too. Say, it's a new adventure. Welcome, welcome, boy. We sure can use people like you right about now. Oh, but where are our manners? We're at the Council of Loathing, and you are... Ed Hyde. There's a hero's name if ever we've heard one. Listen, we're gonna have plenty of work for you. But first, you should probably spend a little time getting your bearings. You look a little underpowered. So maybe you can head off one of those Maybe you can head off to one of those less dangerous parts of the kingdom. Let's say, the Haunted Pantry, the outskirts of Cobb's Knob, the sleazy back alley. Come back after you've explored a little, and we'll be ready with your first assignment. Oh, and you should also really consider joining your class's guild, so you can learn new skills and stuff. Head over to the League of Chef Magi on the right side of the tracks and talk to Gorgonzola. That's it. Is that 2 or 3? That's 2. That seems like it should be 3. Uh-huh. Lair of the Naughty Sorceress. Okay. Well, all sorts of places are opening up in our map, huh? Maybe try back later. Got some nearby plains. There's Cobb's Knob. We'll check that out later. What I'm interested in is the Temple of Literacy. As you enter the temple and approach the Altar of Literacy, you see the faint outline of a human figure standing in front of you. Hello, says the figure. I'm the ghost of the English language. Yeah, I bet you are. At this time, you are not allowed to enter the chat. The feature is reserved for those who are members of the Order of the Literate. If you wish to gain access to the chat, you must perform a series of tasks in order to prove that you can be trusted with the privileges and responsibilities of the Order. First, read the Policies of Loathing. Okay. Don't act like a jackass in chat. Don't scam people. Don't buy or sell game stuff outside of the game. Don't harass people. Don't advertise. Don't abuse multiple accounts. Don't make a character with a racially offensive or obviously derivative name. Okay. Fine by me. Now type the following sentence in the text box below. Capitalization and punctuation count. I have read the Policies of Loathing, and I promise to abide by them. Period. Next, you must complete the following sentences. When they get there, they're going to put on their mittens. You're nuts if you think I'm going to polish your armor for free. Finally, you must answer this fiendishly difficult trivia question. What color was George Washington's favorite black horse? White. W-H-I-T-E. Ouch. Congratulations, you have demonstrated the ability to both read and write. You have been granted access to the Kingdom of Loathing chat. The ghost of the English language looks up at you with pride in his eyes. At least you think it's pride. Kinda hard to tell with ghost eyes. You have already proven yourself literate. Go forth, then, and avenge my death. So now I can enter chat, I guess. I'm not seeing it, so maybe we refresh. We'll enter chat another day. Also, a barrel full of barrels. So there's a crank here that costs an adventure, but we can smash. Shot of tomato schnapps. Fermented tomato juice, that doesn't sound appetizing. And yet it's still better than a base booze. Okay. Cloaca Cola. Cloacas are... well, if you know anything about birds and reptiles, let's just say it's the waste excretion area of the bird or the reptile. I don't know if I'd want to drink a cola made out of anything out of a cloaca or made from a cloaca. Okay, so it's supposed to be Coca-Cola. There's another one. A mimic. Ouch. You're fighting a tiny barrel mimic. You enter the barrel and attempt to smash a barrel. But what you thought was a barrel turns out to actually be a mimic mimicking a barrel. You're confused. You thought these things could only mimic chests. Well, you know, some people can be barrel-chested. It gets the jump on you, so I lost the initiative. Does a pretty decent impression of a monster kicking the stuffing out of you. You lose 14 hit points. You lose. You slink away, dejected and defeated. Beaten up. Oh, half my stats gone. You've had the crap beaten out of you. You're going to need some more crap. I don't think I can actually, oh, that's rough. Okay, I guess we gotta rest. You lie down on the floor and rest. You lose an effect, beaten up. You dream that your teeth fall out, and you put them in your pocket for safekeeping. Fortunately, when you wake up, you appear to have grown a new set. Something telling me that I didn't actually lose my teeth. I think that was just a dream. So I guess we should do what the Council of Loathing told us to do. Check out some of these areas. But there's so many things to look at. Look at the odd jobs board to see what weird task people are currently hiring for. Wanted. Wall repainter. The Council of Loathing needs someone to give the graffiti wall a fresh coat of paint, so the town's budding young artists will have a fresh canvas for their various obscenities. Wages, $250. Spray paint, 3 cans. But you know what? Let's do that. You brush a coat of flat white paint over the graffiti wall. Unsurprisingly, there's new graffiti on it before you've... Unsurprisingly, there's new graffiti on it before you've even finished. Some of the discarded spray paint cans littering the area still have some life in them, so you claim them as a bonus. We leveled up, so we're a level 2 sorcerer now. We got stats, we got 250 meat, we got spray paint. It's a can of spray paint which has been enchanted to change colors in response to the will of the sprayer. It'd be good for tagging things. I bet. Graffiti transplanter. The sleazy back alley is covered in gross and explicit graffiti. The council is outraged and wants someone to erase all of that filth, and painstakingly transcribe it onto the graffiti wall where it belongs. Hercules wannabe? Susie, the arena mistress, needs an adventurer with a strong back and a stronger stomach to clean out the stables of the cake-shaped arena. Bring your own hand sanitizer. That's actually not a bad... Oh, it's 10 adventures. No. Pine Fresh air freshener. This is an air freshener shaped like a little tree. You could probably wear it around your neck. Transmutation subject. League of Chef Magi needs someone to... The League of Chef Magi needs someone for trainees to practice transformation spells on. Strong stomach required. Must not be allergic to animal dander. Magicalness in a can. Spleen item. I don't think we've seen a spleen item yet. Can of aerosol magicalness. When you spray it on yourself, you become more magical. Wanted. Card shuffler. The Thatched Roof Casino, in an attempt to make games play more quickly, has decided to hire card shufflers to keep a stock of pre-shuffled decks of cards on hand. That seems liable for all kinds of corruption. What's this? Adventurer signal. We require your aid, adventurer. We need a mosquito larva. Don't ask why, because we won't tell you. In any case, the best place to find a mosquito larva is in the spooky forest, which is found in the distant woods. We'll mark it on your map for you. Look, Council, I haven't even checked out the other places yet. Market Square. Flea Market. The multiplayer features of KLO aren't available unless you can prove you're a real person by associating an email address with your account. If there's one thing we've learned from our decades online, it's that only real people have email addresses. Well, I'll tell you what. We're gonna hide this real quick. And I'll tell you when we get back. Don't worry. I'm just gonna go ahead and make an email address here. Don't worry, this'll go quick. Then we go to my email. We're verifying an email. Welcome to the Kingdom of Loathing. The account Ed Hyde has been activated. Follow the link below to log in and start playing. Okay. And now we unhide. Haha, get it? Unhide. I'm always hide. But we're back. So, now we can check out that flea market. You approach the flea market, but are stopped by a big burly guard. Sorry, kid, but you gotta be at least level 3 to shop in here. Come back when you've got more hair on your chest. Well, how's he know I've got a hairy chest? Mr. Store? Okay, so these Mr. accessories, these items, donated or subscribing. Okay, I don't have any of those. So let's not worry there. Meatsmith? I am the meatsmith. I'm very busy, so I won't be able to smith anything for you. You can buy components and smith things yourself, though. Actually, if you have some spare time, I could use some help with a business issue. I'll tell you what, meatsmith, maybe later. Armory and leggery. Yeah. I'm not looking at anything. Just kidding, don't worry, I've heard them all. All the jokes, all the questions. Questions like, how do you make all this gear with no arms or legs? Anyway, what can I get for you? Or, what can you get for yourself? Sign says there's a sale. Sale? Oh, no, there's no sale. I was just trying to trick somebody into coming in here to help me. Seems a little shady. Hey, when you're just adding a torso, you gotta use every trick in the book. Well, at least every trick on the when you're just adding a torso, you gotta use every trick in the book. Well, at least every trick on the page the book is currently open to. And you're here, so it obviously worked. So you're gonna help me or not? What do you need help with? So you need to head over to the bakery on the right side of the tracks and pick up a pie. Pie? Yeah, pie. Special kind of pie. You can eat with just your face. Madeline, the lady who owns the bakery, was supposed to deliver it yesterday, and she never showed up. I guess we get choices here. More choices than Fallout 3. No, that's not right. More choices than Fallout 4. Yeah, that's the ticket. Fine, I'll get your pie. Oh man, great. I'm freaking starving here. Bakery's easy to find. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll talk to the meatsmith too. What do you need, meatsmith? A few weeks ago, this guy trying to open a skeleton store came in here and bought a crate of weapons and armor. He said he'd be right back with a check, but for some reason, after he took a big crate of weapons and armor into his store filled with skeletons, he never came back to pay me. I don't suppose you could head over there and see what's up. I'd do it, but like I said, I'm really busy. I'll make it worth your while. I promise. Well, if you're doing one errand, you might as well do all of them. A skeleton store, eh? Sounds cool? I'll check it out. Thanks, says the meatsmith. I'd really appreciate it. Skeleton store is right next door. I'll mark it on your map. It really is right next door. Medicine show. Doc Galactic's eyes light up as you approach. Say, my friend, you look like a pale and hearty adventurer. I don't suppose you'd care to assist me with a little problem. I swear all of these people have problems. Okay, so these things heal HP. That doesn't not remove poison effects. Antidote. So it's an antidote. It's a triple negative, so it is an antidote. Doesn't not remove poison, so it will remove poison. Okay, so we got MP and HP. They're a bit too pricey for my blood. Problem indeed, my good friend. Here's the situation. I run out of ingredients for some of my patent medicines, and I simply don't have the time to go out and gather them myself. Well, I've been there myself, my friend. I ran out of a certain ingredient and just could not ran out of a certain ingredient myself for my own draft. Couldn't procure it. Ended up like this, permanently. I'll need 3 sprigs of frogwort, 3 bundles of shysterweed, and 3 swindle blossoms. Do you think you're up to the task? These names, are they like a false? What would be a name for a false plant? Like, a false oak, false... I can't think of any false plants off the top of my head. That's really embarrassing. Sure, I'll go pick some. Excellent news, my friend. You can find those herbs right here in Seaside Town, in that overgrown lot over by the sleazy back alley. We'll do that later. General store. Once I was a hero of the Cola Wars. Now I wage war against high prices. So, a bunch of items. So we got buff items. I'm guessing the next one's gonna buff Moxie for... Oh yeah, it's also a combat item. Meat pasting component. There are just so many items in this game. What else do they have? Casino pass? We could go check out the casino. Hermit permit. I'll tell you what, I want a hermit permit. Hermit permit. This is a permit which allows you to make a pilgrimage to see the hermit who lives in the big mountains. Sounds good to me. Sweet rims. Dingy planks. I guess we're gonna have to build some kind of Boat? I don't know. Familiar Grow Terrarium. This is the roomy and affordable Familiar Grow Terrarium. Turn your home or campsite into a breeding ground for all manner of helpful creatures. That sounds useful. Desert Bus Pass. Allows travel to the desert beach. We got some different ovens, cocktail crafting kits that aren't made of plastic. Probably good to upgrade. The fountain isn't clickable. So that's that. Clan district. You must be at least level 3 to apply to a clan. So no clan for me. Right side of the tracks. Gourd Tower. Captain of the Guard. Gotcha. You climb to the top of the Gourd Tower and encounter a twitchy man standing next to a huge gourd. I'm Urk, the captain, says the captain. The captain of the gourd. It is my sworn duty to protect the gourd, that is. It's clear that in addition to being next to it, the man is clearly out of his gourd. You can help, he continues. Tin cans, threaten the gourd. Slay them. Seek them out and glurp and herp the haunted pantry. Bring back 5 of their lurid lids and you'll be rewarded. Sure. Great. I'll be here keeping the gourd safe. Oh man, he sounds crazy. Construction site. Cake-shaped arena? Hello there and welcome to the Cake-shaped arena. I'm Susie, the arena master. I mean mistress. In the arena, your familiars can compete in a variety of events against the house familiars for experience, prestige, and fabulous prizes. To enter your familiar in an event costs 100 meat and takes 1 adventure. You have won 0 times, only 5 wins left until your next prize. In order to compete, you need a familiar. Come back when you've got one. I'll do that. Now here's that guild they were talking about. There's Gorgonzola, the chief chef. You wish to join the League of Chef Magi? Gorgonzola asks, looking you up and down. Very well, but first you must prove your abilities. How do I do that? Not far from here, in the haunted pantry, there resides a polter sandwich. What? A polter sandwich. A particularly angry manifestation of a sandwich ghost. A sandwich ghost? Sandwiches have ghosts? Only the really delicious ones. I want you to find and tame this particular polter sandwich and return here with it. Okay, well, we were going to that area anyway, I guess. There's so much stuff to do. Monorail. Hello there, my friend. How do you do? Monorail's open, but there's still much to do. The protesters are handled with a friendly agreement. The unionized labor won't have any aggrievement. Each station we open will plant lots of trees. Those hippies shall feel a bountiful glee. So ride on our rails. 3 rail lines are open. Construction continues. Unabated, we're hoping. Acquire an effect. Favored by Lyle. So he just got a buff. I don't know if I trust this Lyle guy. Oh man, there's so many things to go to. Pile of goo. Okay, I'll tell you what. We haven't been adventuring. So we're gonna adventure. Spooky Raven. We have to go to the haunted, was it pantry? Yeah, the pantry. So here's the pantry. You're fighting a possessed can of tomatoes. Inside the haunted pantry, you encounter this abomination. You assume a fighting... No Steam. I do not want to open Steam. Inside the haunted Inside the haunted pantry, you encounter this abomination. You assume a fighting stance and prepare to match your opponent with a can of whoop-ass. You get the jump on it. Let's salsa ball. Hey, we got that can lid people are looking for. Guess we need 4 more of those for the captain of the gourd. What do these do? Lid from a tin can. It's really sharp around the edges. You could probably throw this at something and hurt it fairly badly. 2 to 3 damage is what we're doing for a salsa ball, and if that's consumable, it's not any better. This is a tomato. If you're anything like me, you probably don't like tomatoes. If you're anything like Dan Quayle, you probably can't spell tomatoes. That's a joke none of you are gonna get. Keep adventuring. You encounter the spirit of the Dolphin King. He busts a rhyme. Ear-trapped was I in tuna nets. I made fat meat on football bets. I hid it neath the rolling waves. Go ye and find it. Burma shave. Gave you a map. A quest item. This is a map given to you by the Dolphin King. He claimed that it leads to treasure. You're not sure if you trust him. That's a can of tuna, isn't it? It's a can of tuna. There's another can lid. Just outside the door of the haunted pantry, you encountered the corpse of an unfortunate adventurer just like yourself. Well, not just like yourself, and you don't have a razor-sharp can lid buried in your back. Not yet. You retrieve the can lid, and since you gauge that he probably doesn't need it anymore, you also help yourself to the contents of his wallet. We're getting that gourd capped in his can lids. I mean, we're not killing them. I think he really wanted us to kill them to protect the gourd, but as long as we have them, it's the same thing, right? Flame-broiled meat blob. You are suddenly ambushed by a giant flame-broiled meat blob. It bobs up and down menacingly, dripping with meaty goodness and radiating waves of intense heat. Salsa ball. 1 damage. Tries to smother you with its body, but you take a big bite out of it, then you spit it out. Meat? Why would anyone want to eat money? Okay, so that one was more effective. Physical damage over magic. Got it. Your saucepan makes a satisfying clang as it rebounds off of your enemy for 6 damage. You feel briefly like a stereotypical comic strip housewife. Meat paste and meat. Sticky meat paste made out of meat. It could be used to stick 2 things together. Well, some of those descriptions had meat paste and component, so that's good. Now we know how to meat paste. Fighting an undead elbow macaroni. Inside the haunted pantry, you encounter an undead elbow macaroni of unusual size. Princess Bride, rodent of unusual size. It rubs its hand together and prepares to assault you like a peanut. Like a peanut. I'm not sure. It could be a lot of things. Another housewife comment. Ah! Sandwich appears. Deep within the haunted pantry, you find a small cabinet door that rattles mysteriously, as though something within were trying to escape. Despite your better judgment, which you figure you're going to have to learn to ignore if you want to be much of an adventurer, probably the truth if I have to end up drinking every day, you flip the little latch holding the cupboard shut. With a deafening screech, 2 slices of bread leap out of the cupboard, sailing over your head as you duck. They are followed by several slices of tomato, a lettuce leaf, some Swiss cheese, and a glob of what appears to be chicken salad, which is contorting itself into the shape of a horrible screaming face. Yeah, okay, tomato, Swiss cheese, bread, lettuce, screaming face blob. This is probably the polter sandwich that Gorgonzola sent you looking for. I mean, if you had the gas. Pseudo exercise me a sandwich. You begin a chant to focus your mental energies. Riboflavin, maltodextrin, monosodium glutamate. Okay. Ingredients. We got common bread ingredients and monosodium glutamate, MSG. Maltodextrin, you find malt in a lot of things. Riboflavins typically in flowers, I think. Sensing your attentions, the ghostly sandwich fixings howl and gibber. Gibber? Gibber. It's gotta be gibber. and swarm around you, forcing you to duck and dodge frantically as you bring your powers to bear. Now I'm bringing it to Sandwich. Soon, however, you manage to catch the foodstuffs in your telekinetic grip and wrestle them together into a unified sandwich, which you impale with a rune-inscribed toothpick to bind it in this form. Now to get back to Gorgonzola before the bread gets soggy. Nobody likes it when that happens. Exercised Sandwich. This sandwich had a lot of the fight taken out of it, which is good, because in a just and fair world, sandwiches contain exactly 0 fight, and exactly 0 Hey, I like mayonnaise in a good sandwich. You can't have bacon, lettuce, tomato without mayonnaise, can you? Seems wrong. Here you go, Gorgonzola. Jeez, even more things open up. You hand the captured Polter sandwich to Gorgonzola. Well done, he says, as he seals the ghostly sandwich within a rune-etched plastic baggie and puts it in the fridge. You are now an official member of the League of Chef Magi. Welcome to the club. You better not be telling me this was all a club sandwich joke. He winks at you with a broad grin, then after a brief pause adds, you know, like a club sandwich. I swear I didn't read ahead there, and I haven't played this game in years. I did not remember. Okay. Right, got it, you say? Oh, and you should talk to Bree about getting yourself some new skills. Gouda can hook you up with provisions. Oh, if you want to borrow the meat car, talk to Blaine. He's there in that box. Bree, what do you got for me? Curse of Vichyssoise. Curse your opponent with ongoing cold damage. In Sorcerer School, you have to learn how to make soup before you learn how to make sauce. For most people, it's just kid stuff, but you learned a pretty cool trick while you were pranking the Dean one year. You can conjure up a big mass of freezing soup and coat a dead buffalo in it. Or I mean things that aren't dead buffalo too, I guess. Okay. Simmer. A watchpot never boils, but it takes surprisingly little effort for you to boil over into a murderous rage. Quite a bit of time, mind you, but not much effort. Spell damage plus 100%, regenerate 8 to 10 MP for denture. Your mind is a cauldron bubbling over with nefarious intent. Double, there's about to be some trouble. Is that MP? Oh, the cost is an adventure. That's rough. I don't know. It's powerful. Stream of sauce. Combat spell. This spell creates a stream of scorching sauce with which to baste your enemies. Hose your foes down with hot sauce. I guess we can't get the rest of them, so I'm not going to look at them. Roderick, the staff crafter. Staff crafter. Staff member that makes staffs. Got it. Hello, young chef mage. I'm Roderick, the staff crafter of the League. You may think of staves, clumsy, brutish weapons, good for little more than smacking things upside the head. Like some sort of clumsy brute. I mean, they're probably pretty good at that. But a staff can be so much more than just a big stick. Why, I can make it into a chef's staff, a chef mage's most powerful ally next to magic itself. I'll tell you what, you show me a staff, and I'll tell you what I can do with it. Unfortunately, you don't have any staves with which Roderick can make anything. Asiago, the Postumancer. And I'm the Sorcerer. Ah, you must be the League's newest member. Welcome. I'm Edom, head Sorcerer within the League. I haven't got any tasks for you just now, but check back with me later. Asiago. The Postumancer peers at you over his spectacles as you approach. You must be the new Sorcerer. Well, Gorgonzola knows what he's doing, I suppose. I'm Asiago, head Postumancer in the League. Don't pester me now. I'm working on some really important research. He waves you away brusquely. Blaine. Oh, wow, there's a lot of reading in this game. You approach the large oak crate and peer into the slot on the side. To your surprise, a pair of eyes blink at you from within. Oh, Hello, says a voice from the crate. I'm Blaine, and before you ask, I'm locked in here for one of my final tests as a fully certified mysticologist. I'm supposed to magic my way out of here, you see. Can't quite seem to get it, but I'm sure I'll have it any day now. Just between you and me, though, it's a real pain, and that is the truth. You ask Blaine about the meat car. You see his eyes widen behind the slot in the crate. Oh man, the meat car. I totally forgot. I left it parked over by Degrassi Knoll. Degrassi Knoll? No, you wouldn't. That's a JFK reference, isn't it? I was gonna go back and get it, but well, you know, they're crate and all. Knolls. So there are gnolls living in a knoll. Got it. I've probably stripped it for parts by now. Anyway, here's a list of what you need to build a new one. Degrassi Knoll shopping list. Meat stack, cog, empty meat tank, tire, spring, rims, sprocket. Didn't we just see some rims in the general store? I'm pretty sure we did. We could probably get those. Welcome to Gouda's Grimoire and Grocery. Be it magically delicious or deliciously magical, you'll find it here. Well, this is the only thing I can buy. So it's an MP Restore. Magical Mystery Juice. This is a potion that's positively bubbling with magicalness. Roll up your sleeves and drink it. Is this a Beatles reference? Magical Mystery Tour? It might be. Some of these things are pretty expensive. But I'm not clicking on them because I don't need them yet. Let's check out, what do these people want from me? Someone wanted something from this bakery, but we'll go there later. Let's go over here to the skeleton store. You step into the store. You haven't been to all that many skeleton stores, but even with your limited experience, you can tell that this one is a real disaster. The floor is littered with loose bones and the debris of broken display cases and shelves. It definitely still has a lot of skeletons in it, though. Novelty Tropical Skeleton. Good salesmen know that people always want more tropical vacations. The salesman who put this guy together assumed that a skeleton decked out in garish fruit hat was the next best thing. He was not a good salesman. Salsa ball. Okay, we got more fruit. Factory Irregular Skeleton. It's got 3 eyes. You find a misshapen skeleton and pause to wonder what went wrong with its development. And what was its life like before it became a skeleton? And why is it hitting you? Get the jump again? 3-legged pants. Say what you will about how goofy they look, but they're well ventilated. I'll tell you what, I could use a pair of 3-legged pants. I'll leave that to your imagination. The extra fabric helps protect your sensitive areas, and their restroom convenience cannot be overstated. Or mentioned in polite company. Yeah, fair enough. Hey, it's no dumber than acid wash. These are better pants than what I have on right now. So let's equip those. 3-legged pants. Very good. Another novelty skeleton. More fruit. That's a lot of fruit. Remainder to skeleton. You know how when you buy a skeleton, it usually has a label on it that says, if you purchase this skeleton without a skull, you should be aware that this skeleton is stolen property. It was reported as unsold and destroyed to the manufacturer, and neither the skeleton's original container nor the necromancer responsible for its reanimation has received any payment for this stripped skeleton. This is the kind of skeleton that label is talking about, and also the kind of skeleton that is attacking you. I don't know if any of you have ever bought one of those books. There are these books without a cover, right? And if the cover's gone, they've been reported as destroyed to the manufacturer. There was some kind of problem with them. But sometimes those supposed to be destroyed books end up on the market anyway, because there's usually nothing wrong with the insides. Or at least there's only a minor issue. That's what this joke's about. It's very specific. Didn't even get anything. You find a rare moment's peace in the skeleton store and pause to catch your breath. As you're catching your breath, I wish I could catch my breath. There's a lot of reading. Several things catch your eye. There's a cash register made of bones on the counter, a treasure chest made of bones on a nearby shelf, and a pile of bones made of cheese on the floor. Not really. The pile of bones is obviously made of bones. I'll tell you what. We're looking for what? Recover his check. Well, the cash register would probably have the check. You look around the cash register for the meatsmith's check. You don't find it, but you do find a key labeled manager's office under a pile of receipts. This is a key to a manager's office at the skeleton store on Market Square. Hopefully he didn't have any skeletons in his closet. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. Swarm of skulls. Where are you at with the remaindered skeleton? He could use one of you guys. You approach a shelf labeled spare skulls, and wonder where the skulls are, until you turn around and they're right there, nipping at your heels. Salsa ball. Half a gold tooth. This half of a gold tooth is either the work of the world's worst dentist or the world's laziest grave robber. It's gross. Just sell it. 150 meat? Yeah, I'll sell that. There's another remaindered skeleton. A skeleton bone. I do believe that weapon is better than ours. This is a bone from a skeleton, as opposed to all of the other kinds of bones. Yeah. There aren't really other kinds of bones, are there? I suppose there could be fake bones. Oh, this one's different. The last factory irregular skeleton had 3 eyes, remember? And his leg was... That's neat. I didn't know they did that. Really thick spine. Potion. Muscle +5. 1 muscle stats per fight. This is the kind of spine you make in Ashton Kutcher replaced all of your Spine Factory's regular mirrors with Funhouse mirrors. Oh, dude, you got pranked, dude. Dude, you got punked. Oversized skull cap. I think that's a better hat than what we have. It looks like somebody left this helmet and the helmet stretcher a little too long. That's a thing, right? A helmet stretcher? I don't think so. Might be. Oh look, we're doing extra +1 damage in gray. That's probably spooky damage. Now where did we put... Oh, I just realized that you can't actually see me when I click open these other things. So I'll just have to hover over them, I guess. I don't know. Is that going to show? No? Well, deal with it. You can read the item descriptions on your own time. How about that? Play the game. So for loose teeth, it says this is a handful of human teeth. They appear to have gnashed their last. Meat pasting component. So we'll put on the oversized skull cap, and you see we get +20 power. The skeleton bone is +1 spooky damage. That's the enchantment. The oversized skull cap is muscle +2, damage reduction 3. I don't know what damage reduction is yet, but it seems to be different from power, and power seems to be defense. Now we're still looking for a check. You could also check out the manager's office now that you've got the key to it. Okay, let's do that. You're fighting the former owner of the skeleton store. Well, that explains what happens to him, doesn't it? You unlock the door to the manager's office and find more or less what you were expecting, the manager. What you were not expecting, however, was that the manager to himself be a skeleton. If a skeleton is selling other skeletons, isn't that kind of morally dubious? You don't have time to ponder the ethics of undead slavery right now, though, because you're about to become the victim of a smaller scale crime of undead assault and battery. You get the jump on him. Attack him with a skeleton bone. You strike a glancing blow at the skeleton bone and deal a paltry 3 damage. This opponent might be a little out of your league. He gives your thigh a beating at 100% discount. You know, 'cause you're a friend. Salsa ball? Only 4 damage. Would you like to buy a fist bone, he asks, as he punches you in the thigh. I really wouldn't. We did it. Check to the meatsmith. And this check says, this is a check from the former owner of the skeleton store made out to the meatsmith. Let's go deliver his goods. Have any luck getting that payment from the skeleton store guy? The what store? You ask. Skeleton. The what guy? You ask. Skeleton store. Next door. To get my check from the skeleton store guy at the skeleton store next door? Whew. That was tough. The meatsmith excitedly takes the check and looks at it. His smile falters. A check made out in the amount of 40 skeletons, drawn from an account at the first skeleton bank of skeletons. I'm pretty sure that guy just doesn't understand what words mean. Well, especially not now that he's been killed by skeletons and again by me. Well, he says, a deal's a deal, I guess. Here you go. 5 meat stacks. This is a stack of highly compressed meat. It's a meat pasting component and a meat smithing component. Selling price 100 meat. So, it looks like some classes can meatsmith, like with this hammer and this guide. Those aren't going to show up, are they? Oh yeah, they're showing up for you now in the store. So, meatsmithing guide, hammer that is itself a meatsmithing component, and then meatsmithing components, I guess. Armor crafting and weaponsmithing. So it seems like there's a fairly advanced crafting system in the game. Now we got some meat stacks and a half a gold tooth. Sell stuff. You can sell stuff directly. Let's do that. Half a gold tooth, all these stacks of meat. Sell them all. You sell your 5 meat stacks and your half a gold tooth to a bicycling acolyte for 650 meat. Hey, we got 1,000 meat. That ain't bad. Now I saw something about there being some kind of spray paint use. You go to the seaside town and wander over the wrong side of tracks. You find a wall covered with graffiti, and prepare to add a tag of your own. Simplest, I guess. Bold. We'll do times. I like times. And, since we're Ed Hyde was her right graffiti. Is the graffiti wall gonna show up? Hello? Huh. That's a shame. I wonder why I can't do that. No messages. I definitely... I definitely did validate my email. Hold on a second. Let me check something. I'm gonna unshow that for a second. I'm not going anywhere. I just gotta check out my options. Profile account. Uh-huh. Maybe if I have to set a password. So I'm gonna set a password. And we'll see if that lets me do community things. Okay. I'll save that password. Okay. Nope. Well, Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm allowed. So maybe that's going to be some next time content. Let's go back to the overgrown lot, I guess, and get those weeds. You step around the corner from the sleazy back alley, which you'd think would put you on the street, but the way this town is laid out makes no sense, and survey the overgrown lot. That's just a lot of unnecessary information. It looks like an apartment furnished by irresponsible college students, but instead of an apartment, it's outdoors, and instead of IKEA, they went to the weeds and garbage store. Cooler wino. Some of Seaside Town's drunks are too cool to live in the sleazy back alley, but not cool enough to live in an actual apartment or house. This is one of them, and he's mad at you. There's one of our fraud warts. You're not going to be able to see this. You believe that this is a sprig of fraudwort because you're gullible. Yeah. Okay. Unflavored wine cooler. This is an unfinished wine cooler that somehow slipped through the QA process at the wine cooler. Vineyard? Factory? How did they make these things anyway? Cocktail crafting ingredient. Booze decent. Size 2. There's another cooler wino. Unflavored wine cooler. What does this do? Okay, so it just gives mana points. Okay. Simple enough. Dire Pigeon. Is this like the Dire Warren situation? At best, pigeons are a nuisance. At worst, they're trying to peck out your eyes. Right now. You get the jump on it. Pigeon egg. It's a food. Size 1. If you're ever trying to communicate with somebody who speaks a different language than you, why not try talking about eggs? Everybody likes eggs. I don't get that one. Jaunty feather. It's an accessory. We don't have any of those yet. Stick this in your hat as a symbol of both your accomplishments and your impeccable fashion sense. All attributes +1. Maximum HP and MP +3. We're definitely putting that on. Right there. See that? Not bad, huh? If we could get 2 more of those, it'd be okay. Sewer snake with a sewer snake in it. That's clever. Okay, so sewer snakes are those plumbing things. You know, when you get a clogged drain and the plumber actually has to come in with a big, kind of robotic snake-looking thing. That's a sewer snake. The sewers of Seaside Town are filled with snakes. Everybody knows that. This is one of those snakes, but it swallowed one of those metal tools plumbers use to clear snakes out of clogged pipes. They do not clear... Let me rephrase that. Unless you live in Florida, they're not using a sewer snake to clear snakes out of clogged pipes. And now it's too stiff to navigate the sewers. And it's none too happy about it, if the way it's attacking you is any indication. Carton of snake milk. Ugh. The label on this carton says the milk is fortified with vitamin S, and vitamin S. Vitamins S. Beverage, decent, 3. Now, beverage seems different from drink. It's not booze. Yeah, it's just a beverage. Shake. You shake up the snake milk just in case it's all separated and weird. When you open the carton, you realize that you inadvertently churned it into cream cheese. That's disgusting. This is a glob of loose cream cheese in search of a more appropriate container or surface to be on. Absolutely vile. From snake milk. Can I cook anything with that? No. No. Lemon and cream? No. Popsicle stick? No. Tomato? No. Well, you know, I tried. You managed to make it pretty far into the lot without being attacked this time. And you get a chance to look around a little. It's about what you'd expect. Tall grass, ramshackle shopping cart fortresses, pile of cardboard, stained with liquids you'd rather not identify. Low moaning sound, which you take to be the wind. I hope it's the wind. But which is very slightly spookier and more persistent than most of the wind you've encountered. The world is your oyster, or at least this part of the world is. How do you like your oysters? We can look for flowers, check out the shopping carts, look through the cardboard boxes, or check out the spooky noises. Let's get those flowers. Swindle blossom. This is a swindle blossom, like the women blues singers sing about. It's both beautiful and untrustworthy, and cold-hearted. Shysterweed. It's a bundle of shysterweed. You don't trust it. No, I don't. So we need 2 more swindles and 2 more shysters. There's one. Malt liquor golem. I don't know how to feel about that. You approach a scattered pile of half-full malt liquor bottles in paper bags. Before you can rate it, bottles leap into the air and assume a humanoid form. It staggers toward you. Premium malt liquor. It's still a decent drink. Premium malt liquor is like jumbo shrimp. Totally a real thing, and demonstrably better than any other kinds. I see what you're doing there. Brown paper bag mask. Travel the kingdom in style as the unknown adventurer. Oh man, the unknown comic. That's another thing. I keep forgetting this game was made 20 years ago. I don't even know if the unknown comic's familiar to any of you. There used to be a comedian. A modern comedian nowadays. I can't think of any. But there used to be a comedian, he wore a paper bag over his face. That was his whole identity. That's why he was famous. Moxie +2, maximum HP and MP +3. I don't think that's any different from our other hat. No, that one has damage reduction. Moxie over muscle. Well, we've been hitting things with this skeleton bone, so I guess we're gonna keep the muscle. There's another pigeon. We did get another jaunty feather. Let's equip that. Right, I was thinking it was the feather. So that feather did pretty much what the hat would. Now we got brown paper pants. The best pants are the ones that stains don't show up on. Combat initiative +10, moxie +2. I think our 3-legged pants might be better for survivability. Yeah, we're gonna keep the 3-legged pants. Okay, we got enough flowers for Doc Galactic. Friend, I need 3 sprigs of fraudwort. Yeah, I've got your flowers for you right here, buddy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. In my hands, these herbs will advance our understanding of the science of human survival by at least a decade. As a token of my gratitude, allow me to extend to you, and to you only, a 33% discount on all of my patent medicines. No, thank you. I'm good right now. I wanted to buy one of those terrariums, though. Those seemed interesting. Yeah, let's put that in our... What do you do? Roomy, affordable, familiar grow terrarium. Gotcha. So what do we do with you? We go back to our campground. No familiars. Well, it's been a while, but I actually know how to get one. So what we're going to do is buy 11 of these chewing gums on a string. And now we're going to use them. Chewing gum on a string. This is a wad of chewing gum on the end of a long string. It'd be perfect for fishing things out of a sewer. I do remember this. We're going to use them. Multi-use. You find a nearby sewer grating and fish around in it with the gum. You pull it back up, and in addition to a decent amount of filth, it's got an item stuck to it. You repeat the process 10 more times. Pasta spoon. It's a meat smithing component, so that's the Pastamaster stuff. These are all the basic first class items for the starting classes we didn't use. So we got a mariachi hat, that's for accordion thieves, accordion for accordion thieves, ravioli hat for, I guess, Pastamaster, turtle totem, seal clubbing club. These are for the classes we didn't pick. They're all starter equipment. But these worthless items, not quite sure what this is, but you're sure it has value. No value. But we got a hermit permit. And I'm a step ahead of you there. We're going to the Hermitage. The hermit rummages through your sack, and his eyes light up at the sight of your worthless trinkets. He leads you deeper into the cave, and points at a collection of items spread out on a filthy carpet. Seems he wants to trade. You have 2 tradable items. Well, the first item we want is one of these. The second is one of these. And we actually want one more, so we're going to go to the quest board in town. And we're going to do this transmutation quest. You hang out at the League for a while, letting students turn you into various animals, mainly cats. I don't want to be a cat VTuber. Please do not turn me into a cat. Gorgonzola assures you that the urge to use a box of sand as a bathroom will go away within a couple hours. I have never looked at a box of sand like a bathroom. Please do not turn me into a cat. And gives you something to help with that. We got stats, we got meat, and magicalness in a can. We haven't used any spleen items, so let's see what that does. You spray the can of magicalness all over your body. It's cold, and it smells funny, but it definitely makes you feel more magical. Okay, well, we don't have any spleen counter, but we do have an alcohol counter here. That's interesting. Actually, you know what? Let's make a cocktail. Grapefruit and wine cooler? Breakfast Blast wine cooler. Can I hover over that one? No? Maybe in the inventory? Yeah, there you can see that. This grapefruit-infused wine cooler is part of a complete but wildly inappropriate breakfast. Sounds like fun to me. You drink the wine cooler. Thanks to the grapefruit juice and the alcohol, you now have the energy and courage you need to face the day. Truth. Speaking the truth. So we're gonna need some more of a... Not yet. Actually, we can go to the flea market now because we're level 3. But we're gonna need some more of these chewing gums on a string. So let's buy 11 more, use those up. And here we go. We'll go back to the hermit. Hopefully he'll let us. Hey there, hermit. Seal tooth. This is a tooth from a baby seal. It looks like a smaller version of a tooth from an adult seal. It's surprisingly sharp, unless you aren't surprised by things that are really sharp. In which case, it's sharp, but not surprisingly so. Deals 1 physical damage. Usable, also usable in combat, reusable. Very useful item here. Now, I bought a clover earlier, but I didn't really show you what it did. More than 266% luckier than a garden variety 3-leafer. Gives you good luck. We want both of those. But first, steel tooth. And I also bought one of those volleyballs, didn't I? Volleyball. This is an ordinary volleyball. I used to play a game. It could be used to play a game of volleyball, I guess. Oh, I'm getting tired. This is a lot of reading. So first, what we do is use the seal tooth. You can't think of anything useful to do with the seal tooth, so you use it to poke yourself in the finger. It hurts. A lot. And your finger doesn't work quite as well afterward. Bloody hand. Your hand is covered with blood. It wouldn't be so bad if the blood wasn't your own. Muscle -1. Not ideal, but now we can do this. You smack the volleyball and smear the blood for your hand onto it. The bloodstain looks sort of like a face, so you quickly draw eyes, a nose, and a mouth on it before the blood dries. Blood-faced volleyball. This is a volleyball with a bloody face on it. It's cute. Blood-faced volleyball. Icky sporting goods, spiritual enhancement. Obvious pairing? Gives you more stats after combat. And we want to use that. Put in your terrarium. You put the blood-faced volleyball in your familiar grow terrarium. It begins to float back and forth in the terrarium, smiling at things. You decide to name him Roosevelt. Will. Son. Yeah. That's totally original. Don't think about it. So we're going to use some of those clovers now. You hold aloft your 11-leaf clover and make a wish. The clover dissolves into a cloud of luck dust, which gets all over your clothes when the wind suddenly changes. Lucky. It's an intrinsic. Now, intrinsics are different from effects. The effect reads, good things are in your immediate future, or perhaps the one directly after the immediate one, depending on where you adventure. And adventure, the intrinsics are down here below the effects. So there is a difference. This says infinity. So it's going to be there until it's used, I guess. Spooky Forest. Lucky. You encounter a leprechaun in the spooky forest. Oh, thank you, laddie, for returning me clover. Even though everybody's already trying to steal these, I give them to me. Oh, thank you, laddie, for returning me clover. Even though everybody's already... Wow, this is tough. Oh, thank you, laddie, for returning me clover. Even though everybody's always trying to steal these, I give them to you of my own free will. Enjoy them, laddie. You suddenly feel less lucky, so the intrinsic's gone. Bowl of Lucky Charms. This is a bowl of Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious and deliciously magical. I'm sure that's trademarked. Okay, we didn't get what we wanted, so we're gonna have to do that again. This is where having some foreknowledge of the game kicking around in my head is useful. So let's do that again. There we go. At the bottom of your bowl of Lucky Charms, you discover a tiny leprechaun hatchling. That leprechaun must have accidentally left his firstborn in your cereal. This is a just hatched leprechaun. If you put it in your terrarium, it'll probably mature very quickly. Tiny Irish guy, strange accent and wardrobe, but his friendship is rich. Causes enemies to drop more meat, which is always a good thing. So we're going to take him with you. Lachlan Collins. Lachlan? Lachlan. I'm pretty sure it's Lachlan. Lachlan. Okay, so that's good. So I think you've gotten a feel for what this game is about. I'm a bit unhappy that I couldn't show you more of the community elements. Like, these are all sold by other people, right? But I can't... Like, they're actual people. 2005. And they're selling those items right now. And you can bet pretty much anything you want. These food items, they're better than what I could make right now. Insanely spicy enchanted bean burrito. That's an awesome food. I can't even make awesome food right now. I could buy weapons. I could buy meat butler. I don't even know what a meat butler is. Weapons. There's a lot of stuff you could buy. Fedora, moose antlers, mullet wig, bloody clown pants. Yeah, binoculars. That looks interesting. Monsters will be less attracted to you. +5 to monster level. As you can see, there is a lot to this game. Big hot pepper. Makes spells spicy. Actually, I might buy that, yeah. They're back items. Weapon damage 15. Familiar. Are there any familiars I could buy? No, can't afford any of those. Well, oh, there's the chat. I wonder if I could, spray paint now. Spray paint? Nope. Graffiti wall, still not showing. I wonder if the graffiti wall's just gone. There used to be a wall that just had graffiti from players on it. It was fantastic. I don't know, maybe they got rid of it. That was a long time ago. This adds plus 10 spell damage and plus 10 hot damage and makes all spells spicy. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good, so I bought it. Considering I am a sorcerer. So, again, this was a game I used to play a lot. I played it off and on since 2004. I'm showing my age a little bit there. Don't say anything, please. And please don't make me into a cat VTuber. It was fun back then, it's still fun now. It's still alive. You can play it if you want. Hey, send me a message if you do. I might respond. Maybe I'll play this again sometime. You know what? Maybe I'll get up there, make my own character high level enough to start a clan. Because there was this clan feature, right? And you can see, you can join clans, but you gotta be level 7, I think it was. Yeah, to form your own clan. Maybe we could do that. I don't know. It'd be pretty fun. I don't think we'd be able to compete with any of these with 12 years of experience. But this was a fun look at an old game I used to play a lot of. I appreciate you joining me as I stumbled through my reading while I was sick. I hope that didn't bother you too much. And yeah, I think we're gonna call it there. So, see you next time. Hyde out.